Hello. Today we're going to talk about contract management app made for Business Central by BCS Itera. It's available on Microsoft AppSource. Download it from there and try it out. We also have a quite good user guide available online. So the app itself allows tracking and management of sales and purchase contracts. So both sides are supported. So it allows to track the amounts and also the header information actually. It allows to use multiple partners on one contract, and it also has a support for contract-based prices. So, but let's check it all out in Business Central. So first, maybe let's make a quick check on the contract management setup. So here we have, of course, the number series. Then we'll have to choose the GL accounts for tracking because the tracking is based on GL amounts that will be taken from the GL ledger entries. So you might want to include here all the maybe the costs and income accounts and maybe some balance accounts as well. And of course you want to exclude, let's say, VAT accounts because usually you don't want to track the VAT amounts in the contract fulfillment. And also the payables and receivables accounts as well. You can make some default settings. For example, if you're working mostly on the sales contract side, then you can set up the default contract type as sales. So all the new contracts you create will be of type of sales. And you can assign a default contract category for both types of contracts, for sales and for purchases as well. And regarding the features, you can enable or disable the multiple partners functionality. Some customers don't want to use it, they don't need it, so you can simply disable it. Then you can't add multiple partners to one contract. But some use cases need this, so it can be switched on. And the same applies to this contract-based line prices or the contract-based prices. So you can switch it on or off both on sales or purchase side, because this can have a small effect on the purchase or sales document opening. So it might be necessary maybe in some cases to switch it off because it's checks if the line prices should be compared to the document prices or not when the contract number has been entered. But let's switch them both on and let's see how that plays out. There's also the contract attributes support and also a separate list made where the contract attributes can be added as columns. So in some cases it might be necessary. So you can set which attribute should be displayed on which column. So, and as mentioned, the sales side supports also the periodic billing. So there are some options here as well. We can make the billing quite automatic, so that if the contracts are entered normally, then the job queues can create the basis for invoice and the invoices itself as well. So we can set up some date formulas, how many days before it should create the invoices or data. And there are some relations to the jobs module, or in the new version, those will be renamed to projects. As contract management supports both sales and purchase side, then the partner choice is made from the contacts module. So some customers maybe don't use the contacts module, but of course you should always use it to have the personal data for all the company employees as well. Then it's some simple things to set them up. It's all based on standard Business Central, but yeah, some features that you can fill in the customer and vendor business relation codes here if they haven't been filled in. And also you can run the create contacts from customers and create contacts from vendors as well if you're not using the contacts module. So this is all about setup. Now let's check out the contracts list itself. So of course contracts all are in a list, but let's just create a new contract. Let's make a sales contract first. So we have a new contract. Contract number comes, of course, from the number series. also the default value sales. Let's say it's a kind of subscription contract. Let's say we are selling like 365 licenses, 10 pieces, no, just as an example. 365, let's add some description as well. Maybe there's some more information. 10 pieces, user can change. And let's choose a partner. So let's just take some company. And now we have a very good example. This contact is not related to any customer, and now we get a warning that it's not related to a customer, so probably it's related to a vendor. Of course, we can always create a customer from this contact as well, but yeah, we can actually do it. And let's create contact. If it's not there, let's see if you can make it from here, or we have to open the card. But yeah, the warning is good, then you know that something must be done. Create as, and let's say create as a customer, and let's say it's a company, e-company, and now the customer has been created. Let's see if you have the templates correct. You can see it from here. Let's open the customer card, and let's see if you have the business posting groups filled in. Yeah, those are nice. So when let's make a small test. For example, if we choose another company, let's say probably this has a customer relation, but when we choose this contact now back, now there is no warning because it's related to a customer. And it can also be seen down here that under the relations, if a customer now appears here or no, then you can see if it has relations or no actually. But yeah, you never come this far to the bottom to check it, so the warning is quite good. You can choose some kind of person contact here from this company and fill this in, and also your email. Then we have some main contract functionality here. For example, if you want to check to compile several contracts into under one contract, you wanna kind of track them separately, but at the same hand we wanna track them and see the total amounts as well. And then there is also this framework contract option. So this means that the main contract is kind of a framework contract. You never track any fulfillment on this contract, but the amount from this contract is taken and compared to the subcontracts. We can check some example later, and we can add some external contract number here because in many cases we have our internal contract number and then also some external contract number. And we can use this external contract number as an external document number on sales documents as well, if you want. Then we have the start date and end date. They are mostly informational. They don't restrict anything. But yeah, those are informational, and based on this, you can either block the contract at some point or leave it open. You can have some payment terms here. Let's say it's 14 days. Let's have 14 days. So this will be transferred to the sales document, sales order or invoice if you fill in the contract number in the header. And also we can have some salesperson attached here. There is full dimension support on contracts. And here on the contract card, there are 2 global dimensions visible, so we can fill them in here. Or if you need some additional ones, then we can add them from here. It's the same as on any master data. So let's have some preliminary account. It's like 1,000 euros. And then we want to use the line price in document to check the feature. So we can switch on or off the periodic billing functionality. So let's switch it off at this point. or actually let's leave. This is a periodic contract, so we can leave it on. And now we will add some contract lines. So actually on contract category, I have set up already some default values as well. So if you kind of have this subscription, and mostly we sell like this 365 licenses, then we can set up the defaults on the contract category already. So now we can have the line here. We can of course change the description and so on. So let's change the quantity to 10, and the price is contract based, so it doesn't come from the contract card, neither from the price list, so it has to be entered manually. Okay, so let's just make some amount. Let's say it's 15, and we can also choose if the use line price and document line is used actually also by contract lines, so we can switch it off here actually, or switch it on. So I can of course add another line here. For example, I wanna maybe sell some services. It's kind of subcontracting. Let's say it's one. Let's say it's a fixed price for service. So we can leave it just quantity 1, and let's give it the unit price. Let's say it's 100 euros. I want to use it online. Then we won't gonna add a periodic text, and it's not the periodic billing thing either. So let's empty the values. So we have no end date, we have no periodic. Okay, it requires the field. So we can use this line for periodic billing, and this line just for price calculations or price check. So, but let's try it out now. Let's create some periodic lines. So this consists of a couple of options. First, we create contract invoice lines. Next, billing date. Anyway, it will take the information on lines. Okay, so we created 2 contract invoice lines. So let's see what it did. So we can see there is a line for this 365 with the correct period from January to the end of January, and status is new. It also create a line for this one as well. Also, we didn't want to do it, but okay, but we can actually cancel it. Yes, let's see if we can use it just for billing. Okay, we should have left this filled in probably. Okay, so anyway, let's see if that works. And the second step is that we create the sales invoice. Currently only for this contract, but yeah, it can be run centrally, so it will create the lines for all the contracts. So let's open the sales invoice from here. Let's show less. We have the posting date. It's usually the beginning of the period. So it filled in the contract number here on the header as well. You can of course create the sales invoice manually if it's not a periodic billing invoice. So let's see if so we see here that the contract number has turned green, and also the price is green. If we change the price, for example, to 14, it turns red because we have this use line price and documents. So it requires that the price would be the same as in the contract for this item, for this contract. And we can actually, for example, check the preview posting, it will also inform us if the functionality has been switched on. If it's not switched on, then no warning will come. So it says that some prices are different from prices marked in contract. Do you want to proceed with preview? If I say yes, then it will show me the preview. If I will say no, it will display me the price differences. So I can see the contract price here, I can see the unit price here, and the difference. And I can use this function like change prices or show all lines. Let's choose this change prices. It will change it according to the contract. So now the price line is back here, like 50. Let's change it back to 14. If I'm entering the information, let's say manually, or change some information here, the functionality is also available here, like get contract prices. And it will get the contract prices for all selected lines. So let's see if this works with this line we entered on the line as well. Okay, it's not working because the line wasn't valid anymore. Okay, so it's difficult to mix periodic lines with not periodic lines. But yeah, here we can now post the invoice. So let's choose post. And we have the posted information here, and now we also have some kind of completion already. It just generated some amount to compare. Now it shows the completion. It comes from the GL entries actually. We sold it, posted invoice, and it takes the information from the GL entry. So, and we can see here the remaining amount. So, but as we made this contract, let's say for 1 year, and if we actually multiply the line amount with 12, then we actually can change this amount here. Let's say we have 150 multiplied by 12. So now we have a different remaining amount. The completion stays the same. So that's how we can track the lines. Well, let's add this line here once more. Fixed price for service. It's 100. No periodic text. No billing actually. Date is the same. Let's see if it. So we have it. We have it entered now. Zero actually. If we check this price now on this customer, then the price comparison works well. But yeah, it's better probably to use for non-periodic billing to have this contract name separately or combined with main contracts. Okay. So this is the sales side. So we can see how many subscription invoices we have. A lot of them. But yeah, we can check some framework contract as well, and how this works. So let's see if you have any framework contract here. Framework contract. Yes. Oh, I even have some. So we have this wholesale of grain. So for main, this framework contract, the main differences are the comparison of subcontracts. So we have this framework contract amount, and then we can see what's the subcontracts amount total and what's the subcontracts completion and subcontracts remaining amount. So, and here so yeah, for framework contract, it actually shows the completion, not this is not this contract's completion, but it's subcontracts completion. So it kind of compares the completion to subcontracts. If it's just a main contract, then you can post entries on main contract as well. If you have a framework contract, you can post entries to framework contract, but only to subcontracts. But it anyway compares those to the framework contract. So let's see if you have, okay, we have nothing with this contract number because all the entries are with this contract number. And it also compares that the agreed amount doesn't exceed the framework contracts like agreed amount. So for example, if we change this 8,000 to, let's say, 101,000, that actually is bigger than the framework contract amount, then it will display us some red color, because the framework contract is actually smaller than the amount of the agreed amount of subcontracts. So it's kind of good to track what's exceeding and what's not. So you have always a visual. So let's see if we have another example here. Let's see what this is. This is also a framework contract. Can I move this? And check what's. So we have completion on here, and we have completion on subcontracts. And here we can see the main contract plus subcontract completion. Currently it shows us nothing, probably because I changed the framework contract, so I need to refresh it or recalculate the lines. But if I make a next transaction here with on some contract, then the amounts will be recalculated. So let's see if we have something here. A better example of only main contract. So here we can see the main contract and subcontracts. Now they're kind of separated. The amounts won't be compared, and this completion is only here, shows only the main contract completion and main contract reminder. And here on the right side we can see how many subcontracts it has, what's the subcontracts amount, what's the subcontract completion, and so on. And in the last box we can see like the combined amount. It's 2,300 plus 3,000, so it's 5,300, and completion is also 3,000 from here and 300 from here. So yeah, they separate a bit the main contract and the framework contract. So when we have the same functionality on purchase side as well, so we can make a new contract. Let's say it's purchase. We have some services. So let's say it's services. Service contract. Let's say cleaning or something. So let's choose a partner. Okay, we provide IT services. So IT services. There's a partner contract here, or partner contact. Let's say this is me. It's the framework. Let's say it also started January and in December. 14 days. Purchase. Let's say me. And I also want to use line price on documents. So let's say some amount. Let's expect it to be like 10,000 in a year. So let's add some lines now. So no defaults have been set up. I can use a resource. Let's have a resource price, and I can use, let's say, items here for other various services. Let's say this is 150 per piece. So we can have a contract like this. I can have some lines with their prices, and I wanna see them on contract line. So now let's create the purchase invoice for this vendor. So let's see if you can create purchase invoice. Yes. So this is for BCS Itera. Enter vendor invoice number. And now we can choose contract to the header as well. So let's choose this service contract. And now I can check some prices. Let's say we have this resource. Let's say the quantity is 5. I can see the green price here. Change it to 95. Turns red. Let's have another resource. Let's say it's some kind of consultant. So if there is no line for this resource on the contract, so the price comparison can't be made because there is no such contract line, so there is no such contract price. So the price doesn't change at all. So now we can date the item. We have this nice service item, and now the price has changed. So now we can go to posting. Let's say we want to post it. Let's post it. Do you want to post invoice? Yes. So now also the warning comes like some prices are different. Do you want to check them? If I say no, the invoice will be posted with the prices marked on the line. If I no, vice versa, do you want to proceed with posting? If I answer yes, then the invoice will be posted with the prices on the line. But if I say no, then the comparison will be shown to me, and then I can decide if I wanna change the prices or no. So let's change the price. Or actually, let's change it back and let's try to post it with some different number. Well, I can do it. I'm being warned. And if you go back to the contracts list, we can see what's the fulfillment of the contract here, the purchase contract. So we can see that the contract lines amount is about 250, but the completion amount is 1,100. So we can check how this was posted. Yeah, probably 5 by 95 is something like this. So this is the main idea of the functionality, and we have also added some fixing possibilities. So it means we can, for example, change the contract number on purchase invoices if you have marked it wrong or made some mistake. So we have some change contract functionality here. So we can see what's the number in header and what's the contract number used in lines. And if you want to change it, we can choose like a different contract for this vendor. So it would allow us to change. So of course I have to mark what's the reason, and then I can choose if the only header is changed or the lines as well, or only the lines. So, but let's do it. It's a demo. So now we can see that the number has been changed in document, but now let's check the contracts as well. So has anything happened on the contracts, or it's all the same? So let's filter list by by partner. Okay, let's choose partner. Search name. So let's okay, and let's have a type as well. Contract type. It was purchase. So we have those two contracts here. Now we can see that actually the new contracts completion is 0 because we changed the contracts. All the completion went to another contract. And now the completion is on this contract actually. So we can check it from here. Okay, the latest transactions are those. So it's a possibility to change it, but of course you can always decide by user rights who can do it and who cannot. So thank you for watching, and I hope this was helpful.